What I want to talk about on today's call is the state of marketing, the power of focus, Facebook advertising, the best 3 sales questions, video marketing, the importance of faces.
This call is being recorded.
All right, so what I want to talk about on this morning's call, guys, is a day that I'll definitely never forget. It was the day that I quit my job in corporate America 5 years ago and decided to become an entrepreneur. And I was working for Inman News at the time, and I had to go in and see Brad Inman. And he's an awesome guy. He's a tough guy, successful guy. He's been a mentor and a friend for a long time. I still really look up to him now. But he said something in that meeting that really, it stuck with me, and it kind of struck a nerve. And he said, "I'd love to see what you could do if you actually stick with something." And the reason it hurt was because it was true. You know, I worked at Quicken Loans for 18 months. I worked at Move and Top Producer for 3 years. I was at Inman a little over a year. I spent a couple years at Dot Loop. And then I started Curaytor. And what I knew in my gut, and I think what Brad knew as well, that's why he wasn't super mad at me, was that I was tired of building other people's businesses. And I knew that until I built my own, I was going to keep hopping around. So I just want to thank Brad for being so real with me in that moment, because he was absolutely right. Sticking with something long term was the best decision and the best experience of my career. And I'm proud to say that as Curaytor turned 5 last week, it's also the longest tenure of any job I've ever had. And I think a part of that is because I used to chase pots of gold, and now I'm riding rainbows. You know, I'm not a big fan of reminiscing. Like I told you guys on one call, like, don't read your press clippings, like, don't pat yourself on the back too hard. But there are certainly things in the last 5 years that I'm really proud of. I definitely am never going to forget. There's also stuff that you would think that you know sort of how to quantify it, but you can't. So as I kind of sat down and did for a moment think about the last 5 years and what they've meant to me as I've watched the company grow, you know, one of the things that I don't know exactly what we spend like on benefits and insurance for you guys, but I do know how it felt to have Krista's husband look me in the face and thank me for supporting them during her battle with cancer. I don't know exactly how much money I've made in the last 5 years, but I know exactly how great it feels that I'm helping more than 70 people feed their families. I don't know exactly how much the house and car I bought are worth thanks to Curaytor, but I know exactly how it felt to watch Lauren and Tyler and Naomi and Amber get a better car or buy a home of their own at such a young age. I don't know exactly how many books I sold in the last 5 years, but I know exactly how it felt to have a kid in Kenya read it and thank me through an email for changing his life. I don't know how much we spend on events. Jillian manages that budget, but I do know exactly how it felt to watch Neil and Darren meet Eric Thomas and Gary Vee and to have their lives change from those experiences. I know what it felt like to have Jillian come to me crying overjoyed, experiencing her first Curaytor Excellence last year. I don't know how many miles I've flown. It is a lot. But I do know exactly how good it feels to be a kid from Polk County who grew up in a trailer park and get to sit in first class. The last thing I'll say, you guys, is 5 is really young. Curaytor is officially a kindergartner. And what's exciting for me 5 years in is the only thing I'm thinking about and focused on right now is how excited I am about the next 5 years. So what I would say is, if somebody's listening that's running a business or starts a business, or you're kind of somewhere in that 0 to 5 year range, as long as you stay patient, you stay hungry, and you surround yourself with excellence, you'll be fine. We got a chance to be at the Gary Vaynerchuk event. It was a great experience for a lot of the people on our team, and I came back from that thinking about something, and it really just was just easy to remember, and I just felt so blessed that this is the situation that we have here at Curaytor. But after 5 years, here's what I believe. If you have the talent and you have the team and you put in the time, nothing and no one can stop you. Here's to the next 5 years, guys. Thanks for your time. Have a great week.
Hey, this is Chris. Thanks for listening to my call. If you enjoyed the call, please subscribe right now. Also, share the episode and use the hashtag #CallsWithChris. Every week, I choose a few people randomly to win a free signed copy of the conversion code, my USA Today best-selling book. You can also visit Curaytor.com. That's Curaytor.com to learn more about my company, which is the one I'm running during these calls. We help small businesses grow faster, and we've been featured recently by Inc., Forbes, Fortune, and Entrepreneur magazine.